Good evening, guys. Happy Wednesday to all of your sunshiny faces. So I don't know if I'd mentioned this earlier in the week. I was telling you guys how I was like, oh, we're gonna have to go to Meijer on Wednesday. I think maybe I'd said this on when we went to Meijer on Saturday, because we were going to, I needed to use up that coupon that I got that I forgot to use, and it expires on Friday because of when we went last week, and so, or I guess the week before that, and so it expires on Friday. So instead of like normally I'd go on Saturday, so I was like, oh well, since I forgot to use it, I can just use it next week. But I forgot, like I said, we went on Friday, so I have to go like on Friday or before Friday, and obviously we have Jack's football games on Friday, so I can't go. So we're gonna have to go one day during the week, and I think I mentioned to you guys we were gonna go on Wednesday, but then I was like, I told my dad, I was like, why don't we just switch our Thursday grocery shopping to then Saturday? We just do Meijer on Thursday nights, and then do Valley Produce, Caputo's, and Walgreens on Saturday. I actually don't know if I'm going to go to Walgreens because it really doesn't seem like they have all that much going on that I feel like doing anyway. So I might not wind up going. I might. I don't know. But as of right now, I don't entirely know. Anyways, if I do, it'll be on Saturday. Like I said, just Meijer on it's gonna be tomorrow instead. So like I said, I don't know if I feel like I mentioned it, but anyways, there's not a haul today. That will be tomorrow, and will be of Meijer instead. Just I'm hoping that I remember to still use that coupon, because it will be really pointless to have switched the days up and then me forgetting to use it. So anyways, yes, I ended up actually, I don't know why, I think maybe because Jack forgot to take the dogs out this morning, but I ended up getting up slightly after Jack left for school. I think it was like 8:30 or 8:45 or something like that, and I think school starts for him at 8 o'clock, maybe something like that. So I think he left a little bit before then, but for some reason I was like, he never took the dogs out. He actually didn't take the dogs out at all this week. Like normally he takes them out before he goes to school, but he hasn't. So I was like, you know, I was like, oh, like, you know, he either forgot to take the dogs out or else he's still asleep. And I was like, doesn't he have to leave for school? And I was like, it's 8:30 like right now. And so I get up and I realize my mom is still asleep, and I was like, oh my gosh, she forgot. Like Jack is still asleep upstairs. You know, like neither of them ended up waking up. I was like, I'm the first one up, and it's 8:30 in the morning. Like this is what's running through my head, because I don't hear my mom. I actually didn't get out of bed, but I didn't hear my mom, and I was like, that means that she has to, like, you know, and I didn't hear anybody. Like normally I can hear them when they wind up leaving, like, you know, she takes Jack to school and stuff like that, and I hear her come in, and a lot of times she might take Bliss out if Jack didn't. And so since I didn't hear any of that in the morning, and it was only about 8:30, so she would have just really sort of been getting back from taking him anyway, I was like, something doesn't seem right. So I ended up like getting up, like, so I found out that she was still asleep. I checked my phone. Jack sends me a text message. He's like, if I bring home my gym clothes today, could you wash them? And I was like, wait, are you at school? Like, I was so confused. And so yeah, I figured out that he was at school. My mom ended up taking him. She came back home and went right back to bed at, like, you know, probably 8 o'clock or something like that. And I was only, you know, again, I was asleep for about a half hour after that, and then ended up waking up. But I don't know why I didn't hear them at all. Normally they were making all kinds of ruckus in the morning that is just waking me up. And so, like I said, I didn't hear anything. But no, he was at school, made it to school fine. And no, he forgot to take the dogs out this morning. So that's why I ended up getting up and I took them out, and then was like, that's when I was, you know, figuring out everything that was going on. And I was like, okay, he hasn't taken them out, and, you know, so anyways. Yes, I was up though at like 8:30 this morning, so I'm super tired. I want to get in the shower and get to bed. But I ended up taking care of all my things pretty much for today. I got my dishes done, laundry done. I edited and uploaded, although I'm still one day behind. I didn't do 2 vlogs, I just did 1. Today, because I was watching, there was so much sports on today, guys. One of the main things that I was watching tonight, which I was really, I had 3 things that I was watching. I was watching the US Open. I had to watch Serena Williams. I also watched Coco Gauff earlier in the day today. I think she played like, I think it was pushed back to like 3 o'clock almost or something like that. And then Serena Williams was playing at 7 o'clock, or 7 o'clock, I think that was Eastern time, so 6 o'clock our time. And then the WNBA playoffs, the Chicago Sky basketball game, that was on tonight. And then the Chicago Cubs game was on. They were playing in Toronto, but that didn't start till 7 o'clock. So I was able to still catch the actual the bottom half of the ninth of the Cubs game, but the main thing that I really wanted to watch was, and I kept checking back and forth to see the basketball score. I was able to also watch the last 2 minutes of the basketball game, but I kept switching sort of every commercial break because I really wanted to watch the US Open. I really wanted to watch Serena Williams because I was so scared that like it was going to be the last like match, and I didn't get to see the one on Monday. So when I was like, okay, she's like still has one left, at least I'll watch that, and I was so happy today, guys. All of the sports people and teams and all that I was rooting for today, everybody ended up winning. So that was really awesome. But I'm not gonna lie, guys, I honestly always wanted to play tennis. I feel like I played 1 year of basketball. That was the only sports that I ever ended up playing, and I only shot the basketball one time. And it was honestly too, like, I was actually really good at like setting picks and like I don't know, I played good defense, I guess, too, but I was really not a scorer at all. And like I said, this was when I was in like, I don't know, fourth grade, 5th grade, maybe, something like that. I was still like really little, like yeah. So my coach ends up drawing up a play because it was the last game of the season. He's like, we're gonna get Kayla the ball so she can get a shot. I did. It was like complete air ball. It was like almost nowhere near the basket at all. Yeah, like I said, basketball was really not my sport. But it was fun to play. I did enjoy playing. I always thought though that I would be either good at golf or tennis, because I feel like that was a sport where it's a little bit more individualized and it's not so much a team sport. Like, I wasn't bad like at team sports and stuff like that, but like, and one of the reasons too I never really ended up, like, one thing I wanted to do really bad in high school was I did want to try tennis. However, I found out that, I don't know what it is, but I was told that it's like, I don't know, it's almost called like tennis wrist or something like that, but like where it's like, and not carpal tunnel, I don't think, but it's like something in the tendons maybe or something like that you can get in your wrist. And honestly, since high school, I've really not gotten this that bad. It's funny, it actually started hurting like, I want to say it was 2 weeks ago, but I almost hardly ever get this problem anymore. But when I was trying to play tennis, I ended up having this, like I said, whatever the problem is in my wrist. But I was actually able to play badminton, and so badminton was something that I did want to play or try to play in school. I didn't really have any connections to sports, like friends in high school or anything like that like played like a sport, and I felt like I wanted to try for like something in like my freshman year because I had never played any other sports. So I was like, well, I could try something my freshman year, and then if I'm not good, just, you know, I don't play again. But I felt really weird like by the time like my junior senior year rolled around to be like, I'm gonna try out for tennis. Like, you can't really, I feel like, do that at that point. But I was like all like, even when I was like little, like this was probably middle school age, maybe elementary school, I so wanted to play tennis. Like, I had a tennis like little outfit. I was like all into wanting to play tennis. I never had a tennis racket. But I remember like going to like Dick's Sporting Goods, and like, because Matthew and Jack, well, this was even before Jack played sports, but Matthew played baseball. That was around the same time when I tried out for basketball, and like I said, that wasn't so much of a fit. But and maybe around the time Matthew was also playing football. So like he was in sports, and then my parents were like, do you want to play something too? And so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try basketball. No, basketball is not my thing. So I really wanted to try tennis, but like, I don't know, I just, like I said, it, like, on top of that though, tennis is not a sport, at least around here for us, that's super, like, you'd have to like go out of your way to find like a tennis like camp or something like that, like, or a tennis club where you could play like at like a youth level. They didn't have any sort of like tennis, like it was really like basketball, baseball slash like softball, or football. Like those were in soccer. Those were the only sports that were like available. And I was like, okay, soccer, I'm gonna get kicked in the shins. I don't want to play that. Basketball, like I said, I did try, and funny enough, it actually wasn't in our town that I ended up playing because my dad was like an official. He did baseball, well, I guess a little bit of baseball. Really, he did softball and I actually think he did like a little bit of volleyball and football, but he mainly was basketball referee and a softball umpire. Those were really the sports that he liked the most. But because of that, where he ended up like refereeing a lot of was in like, you know, other towns. He did a lot of stuff around. And so one of the places he ended up actually sort of, you know, like talk to coaches and stuff like that. But one of the coaches, he had 2 daughters. One of them was older than me, but she actually had my same name. And the other one was also older than me. I think she was a year older than me, but it was like a 2-year thing. So I never played with the older like daughter. But like I ended up playing, like I said, that 1 year where with them, and like I said, the reason I ended up doing it was only because I knew somebody that was actually like playing and like was coaching, so I felt a little bit more comfortable, I guess. But again, it was like I didn't know anybody else that really played sports or anything like that, and I didn't have any friends that played sports, so that's why I was never like really into playing sports. But I really, like I said, I always wanted to play tennis. When I did this, I want to say it was up to my freshman year of high school, where they had like a sports camp thing where all of the incoming freshmen would get to they were in middle school, so it was really, I guess, more 7th and 8th grade. They would get to pick like a different sport that they think that they might want to play in high school. And it was a day where you just got out of school and went to the high school to then like learn about and sort of practice you know, like whatever that sport was. So I ended up doing, I think my 8th grade year maybe, or my 7th grade or something like that, I ended up doing golf, and I also ended up doing tennis because, like I said, I wanted to play tennis, but I never ended up like playing it. And I honestly too think about that, I'm like, I sort of still want to try it at least and just see, like, obviously I would not be, you know, like have a career in playing tennis, but I sort of want to play it because I was always inspired by like watching tennis, like watching Serena and Venus Williams like play tennis. And like I said, I always like sort of saw myself as like, if I ever ended up being good at a sport, I probably could do tennis, that or golf. But I never ended up like pursuing it, you know, in like high school. And so I felt like, you know, and like I said, younger than that, like there wasn't any type of like program really that I knew of, you know, or really, again, like through a park district or something like that where I could go and play tennis, again, at a young age. Like they do have like tennis available sort of, I guess, through the park district, but it is like for older people, probably my age now, to like, you know, to play tennis and stuff like that. But you know, like I said, there wasn't anything that like introductory for like younger kids to learn to play tennis, whereas that was what I wanted to do, and I never got, like I said, that chance. And so then, like I said, I felt like by high school, like, you know, my freshman year when I ended up deciding I wasn't going to try for any sports, you know, I felt like then by the end of my high school career I was like, well, it's too late at this point. I'm definitely not going to, you know, end up doing it and be good at it, especially if I've never ended up, you know, playing anything at all and only had 1 year of an athletic sport at all that I've ever played. But like I said, I always like sort of thought that I could possibly end up playing that, and I don't know, it's still something that I'm sort of like, I kind of want to play. And I actually think my dad, not professionally or even like in a club, I don't think, or anything like that, my dad said that he did play tennis, I think, which is sort of like, my dad has played every sport under the sun, I swear. He has played, the only thing I don't think he's ever actually played is ice hockey. He's played floor hockey. I don't think he's ever played ice hockey, but almost everything else, my dad's like, yeah, I played that. Like he told me, like, so this was a couple years ago, I think, when I was watching one of the like US Opens or something like that. He was like, oh yeah, I played tennis. He's like, but I never could remember like the score and like how to keep track of the scoring and stuff like that. But you know, like he would just like go and they'd, you know, just go play for fun and stuff. And So something like that. I don't know. I think that's what he was telling me. So funny too, because like I can see my dad like playing, because he played softball when I was little, and you know, I even saw him play like men's pickup basketball games. But it's funny, like when I'm like, oh, that's weird, like I wouldn't have seen, like even my dad golfing, I've never seen him golf. Like I know that he golfs. It'd just be funny to me to see him golf. The thing too is that my mom actually, she used to run track. She actually ran hurdles, and it's funny because my mom is not very tall. She's about as tall as me, and I'm short. And she ran hurdles, and I think she actually set a record at our middle school, which was the same middle school I ended up going to. I think it was for hurdles, or else it was some type of like some sort of dash. She was not a long distance runner, but she was actually a very good sprinter. And so she ended up doing that. She played like baseball or softball or something like that too. And funny enough, my grandma actually coached her. And somebody too recently just shared pictures of my mom's like baseball, like I said, I don't know if it was baseball or softball, whatever it was, but like her team games, and I was like, oh my gosh, like my mom's actually like over there with like a helmet on and stuff like that. Like I never saw my mom playing. Like I could see her like doing like track, like, but, and like because I was always told that she did that, but to know that like I think it was maybe her elementary school age that she played like a couple years of, like I said, like baseball, softball sort of, like it's so sort of funny to me, just because I don't see my mom as being like a, like I don't know, like a sports, like, you know, team sports like type person, or even to like a I don't know, like just a like sliding into first type of like person. I don't know. Like I said, I've seen my dad like play those kind of sports, which is why I can see him. But anyways, guys, I don't know, I kind of felt a little inspired too watching Serena Williams today. It makes me feel like maybe I'm not too old to like maybe try and play sports, like, you know, even though again I'm not going to be professional or anything like that, but just, you know, so that I'm not like, I have something to be like, I played that, you know, I ended up actually doing that. I was, you know, maybe at least decent at it. You know, like I said, I actually think I was pretty good at badminton. Like whenever we would play it in gym class, I was always very good at it. And also to table tennis. We had to play table tennis, like ping pong in gym class as well. And me and one of the girls that I was playing with, we were playing like doubles. We actually ended up winning. And like the like tournament thing that they were holding, and like I said, we actually did really well. And I was like, I was not expecting this, because I didn't think that I was very good at that either. But like I said, we were actually somewhat good. And we also ended up playing it at my cousin's house. They had a like table tennis ping pong table in their basement, and so we were playing it, and we were playing like a tournament sort of thing, but it wasn't doubles, we were playing singles. And so maybe that was why I wasn't quite as good, because it's either, yeah, maybe I was just, the other girl was really good and I was just not very good, and that's why we ended up winning, or we just played really well together, I don't know. But I actually did pretty well, like I said, at the ping pong. I got pretty far into our little family tournament that we had, but I didn't end up winning at all. I actually think my aunt that ended up beating me, maybe she was the one that ended up going on to win it. I only ended up losing to the actual winner, so you know, I guess that's kind of good. But like I said, I don't know, I was thinking about that today. I was like, you know, like Jack, and like especially too because like this is Jack's last year of football, and then I have nobody to root for after that. I was like, well, you know what, why don't I, you know, I could like maybe end up doing that. I don't know though. I feel like I don't have the like running capacity really. I don't know if I'd be able to move like, you know, that well. I don't know. Like I said, just pondering that. It's just funny that, like I said, I had like a whole little tennis outfit, and I was all like, you know, hyped up, like I really wanted to play tennis, and then I never ended up actually doing it, because like I said, that was in middle school, I think, when we were doing like the like sports camp thing for like, you know, the high school or whatever. because it was like a field trip day. Like I said, you got to go to like the high school and everything like that to like test out, you know, what sports you think you might want to play in high school, and that's what it was. And that's why I was like, I really want to try tennis. And like I said, I even had this little tennis outfit. I didn't end up wearing it on the sports camp day, but I just ended up, like I said, I had it because like Matthew and Jack, like I said, they were always playing sports, and so like, you know, my dad was like, well, what do you want to play, you know? And like I said, that's when I was like basketball, but then I was like, you know what, I don't think I'm very good at basketball, maybe we can try tennis. And then my dad was like, okay, you know, you can play tennis. So I had this little like tennis shirt. It was sort of just like a tank top sort of thing, but and I really liked it. I wore just a regular shirt, but like I said, I ended up getting that, and I was just like, I thought it was the coolest thing ever, because I was like, I get to play tennis like in this little, you know, like my tennis shirt. And like I said, it never ended up actually doing it. Yeah, but what do they say, those that can't play anymore coach? That's why I coached football for 4 years. I was pretty good at that. But anyways, guys, I will see you all in tomorrow's vlog with a Meijer haul. So if you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.